Good morning, Warriors. Leland Holgate coming at you with Warrior Flow this morning. I am the president and founder of Warriors for Life America, a nonprofit that is focused on veterans, military, first responders, and their families. Of course, we also have a big focus on the community as well, because of course, bringing all of these warriors back to the community when they come back from deployments, or maybe they retire after being a firefighter or an EMT or a police officer, it's important for us to reintegrate them back into society. Because of course, being part of something bigger than yourself, I think is the ultimate feeling and allows you to really heal, or at least feel that possibility and hope that there is more for you and that you have somebody that's got your six. So welcome this morning. This is all about hip openers and shoulder openers. This is where we hold all of our emotions. In the shoulders, we hold all of our anger and resentment. These are all our social muscles. So our shoulders usually go up, they get really tense. And in our hips, we usually hold our past, our regret, our depression. So it's a really important thing to open those things up and kind of let them go. And for me, myself, I am a combat veteran, Air Force. I was in Operation Northern Iraq, Northern Watch. I was in Bosnia, and also Operation Anvil in Yugoslavia. So this work has been key, not just for other people, but also for myself, because I realized that through my PTSD and the things that I've dealt with in the past, that I have found these self-regulation techniques to be life-saving. And that is absolutely true, even to the point where if not for this work, I might not be here as of just a few weeks ago. This quarantine thing has got us all in this different mind space and in a really tough spot, kind of. It's very challenging to be isolated, to lose that physical connection. Because we're physically distant, but socially connected, but still that physical connection we thrive off of. We are social creatures for sure. So that has been one of the biggest challenges. And I know you're experiencing the same thing as well. And I wanted to say thank you to everybody at Trauma Recovery Yoga, Joyce, especially Max, thank you, brother, and to all of my brothers and sisters at MVP. And thank you especially to Isaac, and big thank you to Noel for getting me out of the house and helping me realize that there is support there, and we have amazing people in our lives. So this work here, of course, has helped me bring back down to that normal baseline. The one thing this whole thing has taught me is you're human first, for one. So try not to shame yourself. I think that's what I was doing. Since I'm a leader and I'm helping other people heal, it was easy for me to in the moment repress the feelings that I was feeling, saying, no, I'm a leader. That just can't be. But I have to remember as well, I'm human first. So I have to take care of that side of me, nurture that side of me. And that's what's great about this work. If not for this work, I would not have been able to come back down to a normal baseline from whatever triggered or activated me. And that's what these self-regulation techniques really help you accomplish the more that you practice them. And that's why we call yoga a practice. It's something that you're always going to practice. There's always somewhere else to go. It doesn't matter how advanced of a yogi you are. There's always more room for growth. There's always more room to stretch your potential. And that's why I continue to do this work for myself and for others. And that's the great thing, is whenever you practice this, especially being one of the lead trainers and instructors for Trauma Recovery Yoga, while you're modeling at the front of the class, you are practicing with them. So inevitably, while you're giving everybody what they need, you're also giving yourself what they need. So please enjoy this practice coming up here in about 7 minutes. I'll give you a little rundown on it, and then I'll go over it again for anybody that comes in a little bit later. But this is based off of a trauma-informed, resiliency-based yoga from Trauma Recovery Yoga. This is actually level 2, so we like to call it try harder. And thank you to Joyce and Darwin Bozen for being there for me, and for also being in on this work. They're amazing people, and we have really built a community that is looking out for those that have dealt with trauma in their life, or maybe even just anybody that wants to feel better about themselves or find themselves. This work helps with all of those things. So with this form, it's less about the yoga and it's more about the self-regulation techniques that you'll hear me talk us through. So as we move along, express your choice. You get to do as much or as little as you want. If you sit on your mat and breathe, you are practicing yoga. 90 to 95% of all yoga is breath work. Breath is presence. So allow yourself to go fast or go slow, or sit or lay down, whatever you want for you. This is your mat, your yoga, your rules. And as we move along, try to come from a place of curiosity instead of judgment. I know it's easy for us to want to do something or want to be somewhere, and then we push ourselves or we judge ourselves because we are not there yet. So just allow yourself to be curious as we move along and notice the tuning in that happens with this. We'll have body scans throughout, allowing you to tune in to yourself, because generally, when you think about it, even for you, you have all these things that you want to accomplish, tasks, and jobs, and kids, and husbands and wives, and all these other things, outside wants and needs. But what about you? Are you taking care of you? Are you actually taking time to make sure you get what you want? And not in the physical sense, not in the monetary sense, but are you getting what you want heart-wise? Are you getting what you want brain health-wise? Are you getting what you want body health-wise? It's important that we give those things to ourselves. And taking just an hour out of your day, that's really not much of your day at all. It's like 5 to 10% of your day, and you can spend all of that time on just you. And it's an amazing thing when you finally give way to just that moment of time for yourself, what the rest of your day turns into. It really does become something magical when you feed yourself and then allow yourself to move on to your tasks. Taking care of that spiritual or nurturing side, and then watching just how much easier the physical side is. And it doesn't mean that life is easy. That I learned again through this last little challenge that I had during this quarantine. You know, it's not easy, but it is simple. All you have to do is show up for you. If you have showed up for you this morning, congratulations. You have done 95% of what we are about to do. That's everything in the universe. All success is related to 95% of just showing up for yourself, doing the work for you, choosing that you are important. So thank you. Thank you for being here this morning. And I really appreciate you all coming. And I hope and pray that we will be done with this quarantine soon so we can get some of these practices back to the live status and you guys can come into the studio and experience this in person. For now, thankfully, and being grateful for everything we have in our lives, I am super thankful for our technology and the ability that it has to connect us socially and keep us interactive while we are all physically distancing ourselves. And that's one of the other things you've heard me say, and I got that from Jay Glazer over at MVP, Jay Glazer with the NFL. Thank you so much for that. You know, instead of social distancing, saying that actually has a psychological effect on the brain and the body, we've been saying that we are physically distanced, yet socially connected. So I am thankful for all of you, of course, being here, because without you, this work wouldn't be possible. So thank you for showing up. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for being a part of us. We're going to get started here in just a minute. So find a spot in your house or outside, like myself. You notice I'm underneath this beautiful palapa with this beach scene. So I like to imagine I'm at the beach here. But for you, if you're in the house, just find a place, if you can, that is the most quiet or gives you the possibility to cut everything else off. Maybe in a room, or if you're at home by yourself right now in your living room, great. But find that spot that is quiet for you. And if you have a mat, great. You don't need a mat. You can also use a towel if you'd like a towel, or any kind of padding that you have. but find that space for yourself. And we're going to get started in just a minute. Let me wet my whistle and on we go. All right. That's another thing I'm thankful for. Clean drinking water. Not everybody has that ability. So think of those things for yourself as we move along, and I'll remind you as we practice just to think on some of the things that you might be grateful for. All right. Well, welcome to Warrior Flow. My name is Leland Holgate, Senior, and I am the president and founder of Warriors for Life America, a nonprofit that is focused on military, veterans, first responders, and their family. And I am a combat veteran, also a recovering quadriplegic, and just less than a year ago, a paraplegic. Thankfully, I got the use back in my legs, and I attribute that success to yoga. Yoga has helped me heal. Yoga has helped me move on in my life and become successful, strong, and joyful, and aware. So pay attention throughout this practice. This practice is yoga, but it's less about the yoga and more about the self-regulation techniques that you're going to hear me calling out. So we speak science, not Sanskrit. This is all created by our co-founders, Joyce and Darwin, and they created trauma recovery yoga or total resilience yoga with Dr. Nicole Anders, a practicing psychologist over at the VA. So this is all science-based, all logic-based for you. And if you just tune in for yourself, let yourself be here, you'll find some of those self-regulation techniques. And you can take them on or off the mat. So I created this series specifically to give just a little bit more. It's level 2, or we like to call it try harder. So in this, you'll notice some differences. If you've never practiced this form of yoga, you'll notice I don't play any music. I'm not walking around. Of course, we're on video. There's no need for that as it is, but I stay right up front modeling. So if you have any questions on what I called out, just look to your screen, look at what I'm doing, and then you can model after yourself, okay? So as we move along as well, the biggest part of this, one of the biggest parts, is choice. If you sit and breathe or lay down and breathe the entire time, you are practicing yoga. So allow yourself to be where you are and do as much or as little as you want. As we move forward as well, try to come from a place of curiosity and leave out judgment. I know we all want to do that one thing, or we want to be in that one place, but just be curious with your body and try not to force it into too many things. We're just tuning in and checking out of the outside world. So we're going to start in our seated position. Sitting bones connected to the earth, supported by your mat. Cross-leg comfortable position, or your legs could be straight, whatever is comfortable for you right now. And let your hands just rest on your knees. Let your chin fall to your chest. Pay attention to 4 different colors, maybe 4 different shapes or patterns. The color of your skin in contrast to your mat. Maybe the color of the mat in contrast to the floor. The patterns on the floor. Anything to bring yourself further into this moment. As we're looking down, we're sending a signal to our brain, all is well. I am safe. I am right where I should be. Notice your sitting bones connected to the earth, supported by your mat. Always there for you. Practicing a little mindfulness, just a fancy word for noticing. Start to tune into the body and check where you may be tense, where you may be holding, where the breath may be restricted. Just come from a place of curiosity. No need to change anything. Just be. Now pull your belly button in towards your spine. Really engage your lower intrinsic muscles by restricting the flow of urine. Pull your belly button in and up. Keep those muscles engaged. You'll start to notice that area heat up. That's your internal core temperature, your internal furnace heating up. Notice that that power continues to build and that that power comes from you. Keep pulling your belly button in and up. This also helps pull all that mind chatter down away from the brain where it can be burned up and used for fuel for you. Now release. And now 3-part breath from the bottom all the way to the top as you inhale, big belly, into your chest, into the back of the eyes. Exhale through the chest, press your belly button into your spine. Inhale, big belly, into your chest, washing around behind the eyes. Exhale through your chest, press your belly button into your spine. Inhale, big belly, into your chest, washing around behind the eyes. Exhale through your chest, press your belly button into your spine. And now gently relax. Just come back to your organic breath. Do a little body scan for yourself. Notice your forehead released, jaw relaxed, shoulders away from your ears, hands just gently lying on your knees, and a slight separation in your fingers. On your next inhale, right ear comes to right shoulder, head rolls back. Exhale, left ear, left shoulder, chin to your chest. Inhale, right ear, right shoulder. Continue to roll around, link your breath to your motion, and move at your own pace here. Remember, this is your mat, your yoga, your rules. You go as fast or as slow as you want. That popping and cracking is normal. That's just nitrogen leaving the joints. That old stagnant energy being cleared out. Roll around one more time. Let your chin fall to your chest. Give yourself just a moment of pause. Let any dizziness subside. It's completely normal. On your next inhale, left ear, left shoulder. Head rolls back. Exhale, right ear, right shoulder. Chin to your chest. Inhale, left ear, left shoulder. Continue to roll around. Link your breath to your motion. Let that old stagnant energy clear its way out, making way for the new. You may notice both sides are a little different, and that's completely normal. Roll around one more time. Let your chin fall to your chest. Give yourself another moment of pause. Slowly start to lift your gaze. Blink your eyes open. Now you can pull your heels in or just move your legs over to the side so you can make your way to all fours. Hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Now take your right leg toward the back of your mat. Cross it up and over to the left. Keep your hips nice and square, chest over forward, hands underneath your shoulders. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, look over your left shoulder. Take an inhale, chest moves forward. Exhale, look a little further. Feel that stretch in the right side body, exactly where we need it. Waking the body up. With each inhale, let your chest come forward. With each exhale, look a little further. Feel that stretch increase. Just another couple of breaths. Keep your shoulders over your hands. Look a little further. Now look down toward your hands. Bring your right knee back up and over. I don't want you walking in circles, so let's do that other side. Left leg goes back. Cross it up and over to the right. Keep your hips nice and square, shoulders over your wrists. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, look over your right shoulder. Inhale, chest comes forward. Breathe out, look a little further. Feel that in the left side body this time. With each inhale, let your shoulders stay over your wrists. As you exhale, look over your right shoulder. Just one more breath. Look down to your hands. Bring your left knee back to your mat. Tuck your toes. Press yourself back. to your first downward dog. Hands about shoulder width apart. Your feet can be about hip width apart. You can also bend at your knees slightly. This helps take the hamstrings out of the equation so you can really focus on a long, straight, flat back. Let your head relax. You can shake your head yes and no. If you press your chest back towards your thighs, you feel that decompression of the spine. And while we're here, we like to rock out the two most powerful words in the universe. I am. I am amazing. I am growing. I am happy. As you inhale, heels up, look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Reverse swan dive, arms come up overhead. Hands come to touch. Inhale, heart center. Look down to your fingertips, once again sending the signal to your brain, all is well. I am safe. I am right where I should be. And release. Now we're going to move through some sun salutations. So these are meant to burn up all that excess energy that we carry around with us. So again, remember to express your choice. Move as fast or as slow as you want. Do as much or as little as you want. If you lay or sit down and breathe, you are practicing yoga with us. So for those that were in the military, these are just kind of slower, more methodic burpees. Step to the front of your mat, feet together as you inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, lower down, half push-up. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Rock your I ams here once again. I am healthy. I am prosperous. I am fun. As you inhale, heels up, look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Reverse swan dive, arms come up overhead, hands come to touch. Breathe in, heart center. Exhale, release. Breathe in, arms overhead. Exhale, swan dive forward. Take in breath, halfway lift. And release, hands to the mat, step back, lower down, half push-up. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Rock your I ams here once again. I am playful. I am joyful. I am loving. As you inhale, heels up, look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Reverse swan dive, arms come up overhead. Hands come to touch. Inhale, heart center. Exhale, release. Inhale, arms overhead. And now this time I want you to sit back and down for a chair pose. Your feet and knees together. Look past your knees. See if you can see your toes. You can even lift your toes, which will help place the weight in toward your heels. Press your belly button in towards your spine. Arms up overhead and look past your thumbs. Looking up helps clear the fog off of the mind, bringing a little clarity to the situation. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, lower down, half push-up. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Rock your I ams here once again. I am powerful. I am friendly. I am happy. As you inhale, right leg to the sky. Bend at your knee. Let your heel fall over toward the left. You can look under your left leg or left shoulder, and you'll see a dirty foot. This also helps bring stability to your pose. And if you lift your top knee up in the air a little further, you feel a little extra hip stretch. I'm going to open up those big muscle groups. And now as you inhale, straighten out your right leg. Exhale, swing your right foot forward. Drop your back heel down. And inhale up to warrior one. So your back leg straight and strong with your heel on the mat. Bring your hips square to the front of your mat. Left hip forward, right hip back. Arms overhead. And sink in toward your front thigh. Just another few breaths. You can also bring your hands together if you want to look up past your thumbs. And maybe sink a little lower into your front thigh. As you exhale, bring your back knee and your hands down to the mat. Back top foot, I like on the mat. You can tuck your toes. And as you inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, let your hips dip forward. Inhale, reach up. Now I want you to picture that I just gave you a balloon or a sky lantern. I want you to notice the size, the color, the texture. Now I'm going to give you a big greasy marker, and I want you to write down everything that you want to let go of in your life. All the things that no longer serve you. It could be a feeling. Maybe you don't have words for it, so you associate a number or a color with it. You write it all over that balloon. As you inhale, feel it lifting. As you exhale, separate your arms and watch as it sails away. Smaller and smaller. Taken by the universe to be recycled into something new. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, plant your hands. Inhale, right leg moves back. Lower down, half push up. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Rock your I ams here once again. I am wealthy. I am healthy. I am beautiful. So you inhale, heels up, look forward. Walk your feet up to meet your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Reverse swan dive, arms come up overhead. Hands come to touch. Inhale, heart center. Exhale, release. Once again, as you inhale, sit yourself back and down. Everybody's favorite pose, chair pose. Arms up overhead. Look up past your thumbs. Roll the weight into your heels. Press your belly button in toward your spine. Let your shoulders drop away from your ears. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands. Step back, lower down, half push-up. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Rock your I ams. I am happy. I am helpful. I am committed. As you inhale, left leg comes up to the sky. Bend at your knee, let your heel fall over to the right. You can look under your right shoulder for a little stability. And you'll see a matching dirty foot. You can also lift your knee up for that extra little hip stretch. And now inhale, straighten out your left leg. Exhale, swing your foot forward in between your hands. Drop your back heel. Inhale, up to warrior one. Back leg straight and strong, hips square to the front of your mat. And sink into the pose. Maybe you bring your hands together overhead. Maybe you look up. Maybe you sink a little lower. As you exhale, hands come down to the mat. Back knee comes down. And again, you pick whether you want the top of your foot like myself or your toes tucked. Inhale, reach your arms overhead. Exhale, dip your hips. Inhale, reach. And again, I'm going to give you a balloon or a sky lantern. And I want you to imagine it. I want you to take out that same marker. Start to write down everything you want in your life. All the amazing people and places you want to experience. All the feelings you want to feel. All the things you want in your life. See all of them. Write them all over that balloon. As you inhale, feel it lifting. As you exhale, separate your arms and watch as it sails away. Smaller and smaller, taken by the universe to be granted as a wish for you and those you love. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, plant your hands. Inhale, left leg moves back, lower down, half push up. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Rock your I ams. I am prosperous. I am loyal. I am generous. As you inhale, heels up, look forward. Walk your feet up to meet your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Reverse swan dive, arms come up overhead. Hands come to touch. Inhale, heart center. Look down to your fingertips for just a moment. Send the signal to your brain. All is well. I am safe. I am right where I should be. And release. And one more again. We're going to go back to everybody's favorite. Sit yourself back and down into your chair. Arms come up overhead. This time bring your palms to touch. Hands come into heart center. Take an inhale. Lengthen through your spine. Exhale. Twist to the right. Left elbow outside of your right thigh. You can also have your left arm across your legs and your right palm behind your low back. Left knee back in line with your right, likes to slip forward. Sit your hips down below your heart. As you exhale, press your right hand on to your left. Twist and look up. This helps purge the toxins out of the body. Also helps take care of the spine. Exhale, fold. And heel toe your feet about hip distance apart. You can bend at your knees, let your chest fall to your thighs. Now wrap your peace fingers and thumbs around your big toes. You can stay here and let this be passive. Or if you'd like, you can pull with your elbows moving east and west. You can work at straightening your legs. Whatever you do, the most important part is having the heart above the head. Allowing the heart to get a break that it deserves from us walking and sitting and running. This helps the blood to flow a little easier back up to the organs, back to the brain. Also helps those happy hormones really start to build up at the tip of the spine. And here in a moment, you will see why we call this the Xanax of yoga. Release your hands, stay in your fold, hands come up to your hips, pull your belly button into your spine, and very, very slowly take yourself up. Head comes up last. That beautiful rush is why we call it the Xanax of yoga. Step your feet back together, and once again, sit yourself back and down, arms up overhead, palms come to touch. Bring your hands in toward heart center. Take an inhale, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, twist to the left. Right elbow outside of your left thigh or right arm across your thighs with your left hand to your low back. Right knee back in line with your left. Sit your hips below your heart as you exhale. Press your left hand on your right and look up. Once again, purging those toxins, resetting the spine. Exhale, fold. Heel toe your feet hip distance apart once again. Bend at your knees, let your chest fall to your thighs. And this time, bring your palms underneath your feet, big toes tickling your wrist crease. And again, you can make this passive and just kind of hang out. You can also have your arms behind your knees. If you want to make this active, you can pull with your elbows moving east and west and work to straightening your legs. Once again, taking care of the heart, giving it a break. Also toning that vagus nerve system that we all have that enacts the relaxed side of our body. And release. Bring your hands up to your hips, stay on your fold, pull your belly button into your spine. And like it's a game to come up last, come up very slowly. Ooh, I love that. That's the yoga business. I can do that all day. So let's move on. Step your feet together. Inhale, arms overhead. Breathe out, swan dive forward. Fill up, halfway lift. And empty out. Plant your hands. Step back. Lower down, half push-up. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Rock your I ams here once again. I am happy. I am committed. I am letting go. As you inhale, right leg up to the sky. Exhale, swing your foot forward. Drop your back heel down. Inhale, up to warrior one. And now open up to your warrior two. You can scoot your back leg back. Give yourself a little room. Back leg straight and strong. Let your tailbone tuck under. It likes to duck butt itself out there. Sink in towards your front thigh.
And maybe you bring your front knee out towards your pinky toe. Helps you sink down a little deeper, opens the hips. You can also bring your shoulder blades together. Let your shoulders drop from your ears so you create that straight line. Just another couple of breaths, allowing the body to open and release all that no longer serves us. Front palm comes up toward the sky as you exhale. Come back to reverse warrior. Let your shoulder open to the right, sink into your front thigh and reach. Feel that stretch in the side body once again. Come back to your warrior two. Straighten up your front leg. Reach for the front of your mat. When you can reach no further, hinge yourself forward, hand to your shin, your ankle, or to the floor, right near your foot. It's up to you where you are today, and each day may be a little different. So allow yourself to be where you are. As you inhale, reach with your left. This helps keep the spine nice and straight. Keep your front leg straight. And I know you're feeling that on the inside of the thigh. That's exactly where we want it. Now bend in toward your front thigh. Right arm comes up to your front thigh. You can also bring your right hands down toward the mat, just brushing, so your power is in the lunge. And for those that want an extra shoulder opener, top hand comes behind your back for a half bind. Open your shoulder up. And if you want the full, reach underneath your hips, interlock your hands, and again, open your shoulder to the left. Look up. And release. Left arm comes back up. As you inhale, come back to your warrior two. And now windmill your hands down to your mat. Right leg moves back. Lower down, half push-up. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Rock your I ams here once again. I am amazing. I am powerful. I am happy. As you inhale, left leg to the sky. Exhale, swing your left foot forward. Drop your back heel down. Inhale up to warrior one. And now open up to warrior two. Again, you can scoot your back leg back. Maybe you sink in towards your front thigh and bring your front knee out towards your pinky toe. Shoulder blades together to create that straight line from fingertip to fingertip as we look over the left hand. Maybe you sink a little lower. Back leg straight and strong. And now front palm comes up toward the sky as you exhale. Back to reverse warrior. Open your shoulder to the left. Sink into your front thigh and reach. Feel that in the side body once again. And come back to your warrior two. Straighten out your front leg. Reach for the front of the mat. Hinge yourself forward. Hand to your shin or your ankle as you reach with the right. Important to keep your front leg straight and strong. You can also pull your left hip back into its socket. You'll feel that stretch increase. Continue to reach. Take care of your spine. And now slowly bend into your front thigh. Left elbow to your front thigh. And for those that want that extra, left fingertips just barely touching all the weight into the lunge. Top arm comes behind your back. Reach underneath your hips for the full and open your shoulder to the right as you look up. And release. Reach with your right. Inhale back to warrior two. Windmill your hands down to your mat. Left leg moves back, lower down, half push-up. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. And again, rock out your I ams. I am prosperous. I am perfect just the way I am. I am a little sweaty. As you inhale, heels up, look forward. Walk your feet up to meet your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Reverse swan dive, arms come up overhead. Hands come to touch. Inhale, heart center. Look down to your fingertips. Send the signal to your brain once again, all is well. I am happy, I am safe. And release. All right, so we're going to move through some balancing here. Of course, it's important to find that balance in life, so it's important to find that balance in body and mind. Step to the back of your mat. I want you to remember as we move forward, you can keep your back leg down on the mat to help with stabilization. You're still going to get everything that you need in those stabilizer muscles. So again, let yourself be where you are. Feet together, inhale, your arms overhead, palms to touch. Step your left foot forward, let your back heel come up. Now find your balance, do whatever shifts that you need. Now hinge your upper body forward, parallel to your mat. Lift your right leg up. You can also bring your hands in toward heart center to help with stabilization. And keep your hips nice and square. Remember, if you have your toes down, that is okay. You'll notice you're still feeling it. Let yourself be wherever you are. It is okay. Just another few breaths here. Balance postures are all about logic. It does help build that balance in the mind. Slowly lower your right foot down to your left. Fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Reverse swan dive, arms come up overhead, hands come to touch. Inhale, heart center. Exhale, release. Step to the back of your mat once again. Let's do that other side. Feet together, arms up overhead, palms to touch. Take a step forward with your right foot. Back heel comes up. Find your balance. Make whatever shifts you need. Now hinge your upper body forward. Lift your back leg. Remember, you can bring your hands in toward heart center. Work at keeping your hips nice and square. Your left hip likes to reach up toward the sky on this one. And you can also keep your toes down. You do you. It's your mat, your yoga, your rules. Just another few breaths. Slowly lower your left foot down, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Reverse swan dive, arms come up overhead. Hands come to touch. Inhale, heart center, look down to your fingertips. Send the signal to your brain, all is well. I am safe. I am right where I should be. And release. Now we're going to step to the front of our mat. Put your hands on your hips and take a long step back with your left leg. Your back heel spiked up toward the sky. Back leg stays straight and strong. Reach your arms up overhead for a crescent lunge. Together overhead. Hands in toward heart center. Take an inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, twist to the right. Left elbow outside of your right thigh. You can also drop your back knee down to the mat so you can focus on the twist to help purge those toxins out of your organs. Reset the spine. Look up over your right shoulder. And slowly bring your back knee down. Release your hands to the mat. Work your right foot outside of your right hand. Your front foot parallel to the side of your mat. And I know you're feeling that hip opener already. We're going to stay right here for just another couple of breaths. We're going to warm into these poses. I know for some of us advanced practitioners, we like to rush into these poses. It's important to let the body open, especially in the hips. These are some of the biggest muscle groups in our body. When you're ready, start to bend in your elbows if you'd like a little more. You can also bring your right forearm down, and then your left forearm down. And it's very important to check in with that story that you're telling yourself. Can you focus on your breath? Deep inhales, deep emptying exhales. You'll notice you find a little more space. Remember that if you focus on the challenge, the obstacle, the suck, that is all you're going to get. Focus on the change that comes from that challenge, the growth that comes from meeting that obstacle. Just focus on your breath. Give yourself the moment to let go. Slowly start to work your way back up to your hands. Your right toes angle out to the right just a bit. Right hand to your knee. As you exhale, press your right knee away from you, lifting the inside of your foot off of the mat. And also let your hips fall forward. You'll notice you feel that in the front of the left hip flexor. As you push the knee away, twist your shoulder open and look past your right shoulder. And I know you're feeling that on the outside of the right. Remember to check in with that story. Focus on breath. Just another few breaths here. Deep inhales. Emptying exhales. And release. Bring your foot back to the mat. Now work your foot back in between your hands. Bring yourself to a full split if you have that, or half splits like me. Plant your front heel into the mat, toes back towards your knee, and back knee directly underneath your hips. Again, it's up to you whether you want your toes tucked or top of your foot into the mat. I prefer top of foot. Your fingertips just on the mat. This will help keep your spine nice and straight, shoulder blades together to protect your spine. I know you're feeling that throughout the IT band, the hamstrings, down in through the calves as well. Remember, just breathe. Deep inhales, deep exhales. If you pull your right toes back towards your right knee, your right hip back into its socket, you'll feel that stretch increase. Just another few breaths here. Can you let yourself focus on the growth? Can you let go of that story that we continuously run in our minds? Coming out of this side carefully, plant your front foot into the mat, tuck your back toes. As you inhale, bring your left foot to meet your right, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, shoulders away from your ears. Exhale, fold. Reverse swan dive, arms come up overhead. Hands come to touch. Inhale to heart center. Look down to your fingertips for just a moment. Rediscover your breath. And release. Hands onto your hips. Come to the front of your mat. Take a long step back with your right foot. Back leg straight and strong. Heel spiked up toward the sky. Arms up overhead. Press your inner thighs in together and sink in toward your front thigh. Hands together overhead. Bring your hands in toward heart center. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, twist to the left. Right elbow outside of your right thigh. Remember, you can drop that back knee down if you want a little more stability. As you exhale, press your left hand onto your right. Twist and look up over your left shoulder. Your spine loves you for this work. Your organs love you for this work. Drop your back knee down, release your hands to the mat. Work your left foot outside of your left hand, front foot parallel with the side of your mat once again. And I know you're, let your hips fall forward. Avoid letting yourself come back away from it. Find the growth from the challenge. I know the ego likes to tell us to back off. Doesn't like that discomfort. It likes to sit in its comfort zone. That cushy place where we never grow, where we never stretch our potential. When you're ready, bend at your elbows. Left forearm comes down. Right forearm comes down. Focus on your breath. Deep inhales. Focus your exhale into that part of the body and watch it release and let go. Check in with the story that you're telling yourself. You are the author of your own story. You get to decide what you focus on. Slowly work your way back up to your hands. Work your left foot back in between your hands. And now half splits or full splits on this side. For full splitters, I'm jealous. Go ahead, rock it out. For half splits, heel into the mat, toes back. I'll get there. I know I will. Back knee underneath your hip. Your toes can be tucked or top of foot into the mat, completely up to you. Fingertips to the mat. Now pull your left hip back into its socket. Feel that stretch and crease. Right hip comes forward. Toes back towards your knee. Can you breathe? Can you focus on your breath? Can you let go of the story and just be here? Focus on the growth, the beauty and change that comes from that challenge. Now coming out of this side just a little differently. Plant your front foot into the mat. Bring your left hand inside of your left leg. Bring your left knee back. Ta-da, you survived the standing series, my friends. Good job. Honor yourself for that. That's a big one. Don't mind me wetting the whistle. And now we're going to go with a wide leg forward fold. So sitting bones connected to your mat. Feet wide, knees to the ground, toes in. And it doesn't matter so much about how wide you go. Notice if you go too wide, your hips like to roll back. We want your sitting bones connected. Bring your legs in to the point where you can feel the stretch on the inner thigh, but your sitting bones connected, hips are forward. And now as you inhale, take in space. As you exhale, reach for your shins. You can stay there. You can reach for your ankles, and you can stay there. Or, for the super stretchy, you can reach for the insides of your feet. Before we move any further, important to take care of the spine. Shoulder blades together. Pull your belly button in toward your spine. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, you can bring yourself forward, feeling that stretch and crease. With each inhale, find a little space. Press your knees down. With each exhale, maybe you find a little more real estate. You can keep your hips engaged, press your knees down, and you'll notice that that helps you actually stretch through the inner thigh. It's called reciprocal inhibition. Engaging one muscle group allows the other to stretch and release. Just another few breaths. Now I want you to surrender to this pose. Let your hands come down. Let your chin just fall to your chest. And notice the difference in the body. Even passively, the body finds everything that it needs. Slowly. Hand is the action hand. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, work on the outside of your left leg, to the shin, to the ankle, or to the outside of the left foot. Keep your knee pressing down. You'll feel the stretch coming across the back of the leg. And you also feel that beautiful stretch coming through the shoulder, the ribs, the solar plexus. Remember, you can stay right where you are because that stretch is enough. You are enough. If you want more, you can inhale to find space. As you exhale, pull yourself forward a little further. Feel that stretch and crease behind the thigh. Taking care of those big muscle groups once again. They rule our life. Happy glutes, happy thighs equal happy lower back, equals sleep at night, equals less pain through the day. Slowly release. Now bring your right leg out. We're going to bring the left foot into the inner right thigh. Right hand to the outside of your right knee. Press against the right knee. Sit up tall. Square off your shoulders. Left hand is the action hand. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, work to the outside of your right shin, your ankle, to the outside of the right foot. And again, find your breath. Press your knee down toward the mat. Inhale for space. Exhale, maybe you work a little further. Remember, you can stay right where you are. You are enough, and what you are doing is enough. Just allow that cross stretch across the body, letting go, which is sometimes the hardest pose in yoga. Slowly release. And now, you may not have known this, but you're about to build a boat. Bring your sitting bones to the mat, feet to the mat. Now your hands behind your hamstrings. Elbows nice and wide to promote a long, straight spine. Start to increase that distance between your chest and your knees. Your core engages. You can lift your shins parallel to the mat. You can keep your legs down here. I know you're still feeling it. It is completely up to you. That shake is what we're looking for. That's fear leaving the body, that excess energy that we don't need anymore. It's like a cheetah or a chihuahua. A cheetah, after it hunts, likes to shake it free, shakes like crazy, getting rid of all that excess energy. Let go of that fear. It no longer serves us. Right ankle over your left, heels come in, plant your hands. Inhale, lift up to reset. Exhale, lower down, and come right back to your boat, whatever that looks like for you. You can be in a half boat. You can be in a full boat. Your arms can be forward. Whatever you do, just let that shake take place to get rid of that fear. Fear is false evidence appearing real. It exists in the mind. Left ankle over your right, heels come in, plant your hands, inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower back down, and come right back to your boat, whatever that looks like for you. Maybe you got an air tube. Maybe you got the speedboat. Maybe you got the sailboat. It's all up to you wherever you are. Just let that fear shake itself free. It also stands for face everything and rise. Right ankle over your left, heels come in, plant your hands, inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. Now pull your heels in towards yourself and roll forward onto all fours. Now, some of my favorites are these mid-body stretches. So we're going to open the front, the shoulders, and we're also going to open up the back. So come up to, well, you can stay about midway on your mat. Knees about hip distance apart underneath your hips, hips underneath your shoulders. You can bring the tops of your feet to the mat if you'd like, but that's to advance it a little further for me. I'm going to tuck my toes. It makes it a little more available. Hands to your lower back like you're placing them into your back pockets. Elbows come together. Hips stay forward. You notice that stretch through the front of the body, through the psoas already. It's a beautiful part to stretch open. Now elbows together. Feel your shoulders come together. Heart space shines forward and look up. You'll feel that stretch through your throat, down through the chest, elbows together. When you're ready, if you're comfortable, you can let your head fall back. You can also reach for your heels. Keep your hips forward. Chest lifts, head falls back. And now slowly come out, one hand at a time. Sit yourself down. Heels to your hips to your heels. Knees come together. Just bring your palms to your thighs. Face up if you want to receive. And palms face down if you just want to root yourself more in this moment. Hero's pose is one of the greatest poses for me. Helps remind me that I can't always be a hero, but I can be a champion and show up for me.
Start to blink your eyes open. And now we're going to move into rabbit. So rabbit, if you do not want to do rabbit, or you know what rabbit is and you'd like to skip that, you can just go into a knees together child's pose. Your arms move back, forehead to the mat. If you'd like to go for rabbit, sit up nice and tall. Grab your heels, thumbs out, fingertips in. Sit up nice and tall. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, tuck your chin to your chest. Roll your forehead down to meet your knees. Bring your heels together. Super important. Pull against your heels and bring your hips forward. Only slight pressure into the top of your head. Hips over your knees. Pull against your heels. Heels together. And now slowly sit your hips back. Head comes up last. Let's decompress that beautiful spine. Plant your hands, step back to your plank, and press back to your downward dog. Notice your downward dog is a little more accessible. You might be able to straighten your legs. You might be able to get your heels down. Wherever you are, just press your chest in towards your thighs. Feel the spinal decompression. You can also walk your dog out, bend one knee, straighten the other leg. Let your hips get into it. Let them sway left and right. Settle your heels down. Right leg comes up. Swing your right knee to your right wrist. Your heel just in front of your hips. Let your back top foot come to the mat. We're going to stay right here. Again, remember it's important to warm into these poses, not to just jump right into the full expression. So this is half pigeon. I know you're feeling that through the IT band, the outside of the right hip flexor, down through the outside of the thigh, and also back through the hamstring and in the glute area. That's exactly where we want it. These are most definitely the biggest muscle groups in the body. The body keeps a score. This is where all of our past trauma, all those past challenges get stored when we don't release that energy. Keep your hips square if you'd like to move forward and down. Let your forehead come to the back of your hands. And let yourself just be. Focus on your breath. Remind yourself of your strength in letting go. Another few breaths. One more breath. Slowly work your way back up to your hands. Tuck your back toes. Press back to your downward dog once again. Press your chest back towards your thighs. You can also walk your dog. You'll feel that stretch increase. Settle your heels down. We'll wait for just a moment as this airliner who's flying right over our house passes. And now as you inhale, left leg up to the sky. Exhale, swing your left knee to your left wrist. Heel just in front of your hips. Top of your back foot onto the mat. Now keep your hips nice and square. Notice that the body likes to roll to one side or the other. If you roll to the left, that takes away that stretch. So keep yourself nice and square. Feeling it into the left IT band, the left glutes, the outside of the left hip. When you're ready, you can bring yourself forward and down. Forehead comes to the back of your hand. And let yourself focus on your breath. Deep inhales. Deep emptying exhales. Focused on that area that you want to let go. Notice how you find a little more space, like it's magic. Because you are magic.
Work your way back up to your hands. Coming out of this side a little differently. So let your left hip come down, swing your right foot around. And once we make our way there, lower yourself all the way down onto your mat. Bring your right knee into your chest, interlock your hands over your shin. Change that angle now. Pull your right knee outside of your rib cage. Keep your left shoulder down. You'll feel the pressure in between your right thigh and your abdomen. It's what we're looking for, taking care of the ascending colon. Our gut, our intestines, is where 75% of our immune system lives. You can increase this stretch by bringing your right elbow over your left or your right knee. Left heel active, left shoulder stays down. Now keep your knee right where it is, your right hand to the inside of your right foot. Bottom of your foot comes up toward the sky. Your ankle directly over your knee. Protect your knee. Left hand, left hip. Take an inhale. As you exhale, use your arm strength. Pull your right knee down toward your mat. Keep your ankle over your knee. Yes, you're feeling that stretch. Can you let it go? Can you just focus on your breath? Just another couple of breaths. And release. Bring both knees in toward your chest. Reach over your shins. Grab for your elbows. Work your hips, your sitting bones, back down toward your mat. And now pull your knees in toward your chest. You're feeling that on the front of the hip flexor, as well as the pressure between the abdomen and the thigh, taking care of the transverse and sigmoid colon. Important to massage these areas. These are all poses of self-love. And now release. Keep your left knee. Interlock your hands over your shin. And pull your knee to the outside of your rib cage on the left. Keep your right shoulder down, your left heel or right heel active. And you'll feel the pressure between your thigh and your abdomen, taking care of the descending colon on this side. If you'd like to increase that stretch, left elbow comes up over your left knee. Now keep your knee right where it is. Reach your left hand inside of your left foot. Bottom foot comes up toward the sky, knee underneath your ankle. Right hand on your right hip. As you exhale, pull your left knee in toward the mat. Keep your ankle over your knee. Super important. Protect your knee. Take an inhale. As you exhale, pull with your arm strength. Just another couple of breaths. And release. Bring your knees into your chest one more time. Reach over your shins. Grab for your elbows. Work your tailbone toward the mat. Pull your knees in toward your chest. You can even rock left and right for a slight spinal massage. And release. Keep your right knee one more time. This time, bring your left hand to the outside of your right knee. Your right arm moves out to the right. Look toward your right fingertips and let your knee fall to the left. Check in with your knee positioning. If it's too high, you feel it in your lower back. If you work it down a little lower, you feel it stretch into the glutes, the IT band, the thigh. Keep your right shoulder down. Look to your right fingertips. Resetting the spine, taking care of the organs. And now engage your abdomen. Look up, bring your right knee up. Straighten out your right leg. That's right. Let's do the left side. Left knee comes in. Right hand outside of your left knee. Left arm comes out to the left. Look to your left fingertips. And now let your knee fall to the right. Remember to check in with that knee position if it's too high. It's in the low back. As you lower it down, you feel it more into the IT band, into the thigh. And now engage your core. Look up to the sky. Bring your knee back up. Straighten out your leg. Make any shifts that you need to find that comfortable position for you. Shoulders and hips. Let your feet separate hip distance. Let your toes open. Backs of your hands come to the floor. Now find that stillness for you. Soften or close your eyes. Notice the forehead relax. Jaw release. Remove your tongue from the roof of your mouth. With every breath, feel your shoulders melt into the mat. With every breath, your spine becomes heavier and heavier. Hips sink into the mat. Arms and legs become heavier and heavier with every breath. This is the pose for which we practice. Pose of contemplation. Pose of respect. You showed up for you today. You made you important. Hold on to all those things that you accomplished and let go of everything else. Judge yourself only by those small victories. As we move forward, closing out this week, moving into the new week, remember that the past is history. The future is a mystery. Right now is a gift. That's why we call it the present. Let yourself be more focused on the now. We create in the now. Start to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Keep your eyes closed here. Make your way onto your favorite side. Bottom arm comes up to cradle your head. Top arm just rests on the mat, knees into your chest for your fetal position. This is a pose of serenity, security, and peace. We lived here for almost 10 months before entering this world, so the body remembers. There's also a pose of nurturing. Helps remind us that we can give ourselves everything we want and need in this life because it already exists inside of you. You have but to let it out. Keep your eyes closed. Press your top hand into the mat. Bring yourself up to your seated position.